Okay, guys, so we're back for a second game here. Took a little bit of a break. Was having some technical difficulties with XSplit. There's a new version out. I don't know if you noticed in the last video, but the video of Moto actually blanked out, and then I had some other problems where that kept happening, and so I changed the way that I had XSplit configured. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. So yeah, we want to play. We won the die roll. Yeah, this hand seems fine. We get to lead with Colonnade and then have a path up. We have a remand, resto. Seems pretty good. Excuse me. Yeah, so we'll keep it. Lead with our Colonnade here. Probably not going to be pathing anything. And we will lead with our, we'll lead with the, I mean not lead, but we'll follow up the Colonnade with a mountain. We can still cast a remand. Okay, Serum Visions, maybe we're playing against Blue-Red Delver. It's hard to say. But, you know, we may remand our way into like a fetch land or something. I'd rather just play the mountain and then play one of these shock lands and keep remand up. Like we could play a Sacred Foundry or something tapped, but depending upon what our opponent does, I want to have this remand up ready. Then again, I don't know if we are playing against Delver. Maybe it makes more sense to just save the remand later for something like a Treasure Cruise, but because we drew Geist, I'd love to be able to like have our opponent play Young Pyromancer, remand it, and then play Geist onto an empty board. And probably just remand whatever he does. Even if he like plays a Delver, I guess I'll just remand it. What did our opponent do with his... He put a one on bottom, one on top. Okay. Well, we're definitely going to take two here. And let's see, what do we want to... I think it makes more sense to have a white... Let's see... Actually, maybe it doesn't really matter. So if we shock ourselves with a Hollowed Fountain, then when we untap, we have a Bolt and a Path. We also have a remand and a path. It doesn't really, I don't really think it matters. I'm going to guess that we're playing against Blue-Red Delver, which Geist is really good in that matchup. This is going to be Thought Scour. Yeah. So our opponent kept a land on top, so I mean he may have drawn one, but he probably didn't. He pitched a Scalding Tarn, so if he was like a Delver, no, he did. Oh, green. Maybe this is actually the Goyf version. Young Pyro. Let's see. We'll play our fetch. We are definitely going to bolt Young Pyromancer. In the event that our opponent tries to Vapor Snag it, we will just remand the Vapor Snag. He'll get a token, but we can attack safely and do a token. So let's do that now. And if our opponent spell pierces, we can pay it. He'll still get a token, but... Yeah, I'd rather just... I like remanding that here. I don't know, maybe that was wrong. Maybe we just, because I guess now our opponent can just go cruise. Maybe what we wanted to do was just let him Vapor Snag, attack, and then have remand up next turn. I'm not sure. No, it can't be right. Yeah, so that's what's happening. Okay. Not attacking with the Swift Spears. That's odd. We know our opponent has a Vapor Snag. Kind of tempted to just, let's see. We could put ourselves at 14. Path to exile one of the Swift Spears. He could Vapor Snag it back. Put himself at 10. Yeah, I want to be aggressive here. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, okay, so I guess our opponent just plans to like Vapor Snag our Angel, make his Monastery Swift Spear a little bigger, and be able to block Geist. I think we're just going to attack and then play our Angel. I mean, we don't really do much as far as like we don't really get too far ahead on reducing his life total, but we do get to make him use a Vapor Snag on a token as opposed to a real Angel, and we can safely play our Angel out here and have it up to block next turn. I feel like we probably block Swift Spear even if it kills our Angel. So if we attack and let's say he doesn't have a removal spell, then he takes 7 from an Angel token and a Restoration Angel. I don't know, maybe we just let it through because we can actually... Let's see how he attacks, but next turn we can colonnade. So there's going to be 4 in the air just from the colonnade and the angel token. 8 in the air, 9, 10, 11 total in the air. Let's see, if our opponent... Oh, he didn't even attack. I still think... Let's see. Get a Watery Grave. Draw Sulphur Falls. Play that. Yeah, I think we just attack with everything. And see what our opponent does. So I guess this is our opponent just looking for something. All right, cool. All right, let's see. I don't really like Crackling Doom. I think Crackling Doom's just kind of slow and clunky. Plus they get a lot of tokens, so it might not be great. I do want to bring in a Supreme Verdict. I like Engineered Explosives. I think a Relic's probably okay. Magma Spray is probably reasonable. Core Firewalker is good. Let's see what's bad. Cryptic Command feels large and slow. Batterskull actually feels kind of large and slow. Still need to cut 3. I don't know. Maybe I wonder if Relic is just... I'm unsure on the Relic. I'm just wondering, does Relic, not, maybe Relic just doesn't do enough. It doesn't kill his guys. It does potentially stop him from treasure cruising, but maybe that's just not good enough. I think if I was going to cut something here, I'd probably cut an angel. Let's give this a try. Yeah, this hand's really not, it's really not what we want against Delver deck. We have no removal. Gosh, I feel like we could mulligan into something really bad. We could mulligan into... Gosh, I'm gonna mull. Let's see. This could be wrong. I mean, that was actually a better mulligan, I think. Or this is a better hand. So we'll keep that. If our opponent goes turn 1 Delver, I think we'll just lead with this. Well, I was gonna say we'll lead with the Steam Vents, but opponent's gonna play with perfect information, as Delver decks often do. So now if he leads with Serum Visions, we'll see what he does. If he leads with Serum Visions, what I'm trying to figure out is if he leads with Serum Visions, do we still shock, and assuming next turn Yeah, okay, that's what he did. If we shock and he untaps and plays a Delver, then my assumption is that he has like a spell pierce in hand for backup. In which case our attempt to bolt Delver would just be fruitless. Let's see. I think what did he do with his cards? Okay, so we put both on bottom. All right, so I'm not going to pay anything. We'll just play a little slower of a game here. So Flooded Strand can just get a white source. You know, we may actually want to be playing around Blood Moon. Has our opponent fetched? No. I think Flooded Transit. I think Flooded Transit going to get an island in the event that our opponent brought in Blood Moons. Maybe we could have brought in one Wear and Tear to sort of hedge against that. Why do they have to have 2 toughness? Well, we'll kill one. And then Flooded Strand's going to get an island just in case that there's some Blood Moon action happening. Our opponent doesn't have any basic islands themselves, though, so can't imagine he wants to do that. Delver. I'm going to guess that our opponent has a Spell Pierce, and we could that would be good. But unfortunately, we cannot play that. So yeah, I really feel like our opponent's representing Spell Pierce, and if we try to kill the Delver, then it's just going to get Spell Pierced. I mean, I could just be wrong. Probably not. Yeah, we're just going to do this. I'll just pass a turn back and hold a remand for something. Opponent did not get a flip. It's fortunate for us. I really hope our opponent plays something, because I want to remand it. And even if he spell snares it, fine. I don't think he is, though. Yeah, we'll remand that. And in that case, if our opponent... Okay, so he didn't. That's kind of a curious thing here. I think Spell Snare is more likely than Spell Pierce. But our opponent had held one blue open, knowing that we had an electrolyze. He could just have both. I'm going to try to resolve this core Firewalker, though. Unfortunately, it uses... both of our white sources. I feel like we're running this into a spell snare. Don't leave me wondering. Yeah, okay, it's spell snared. Maybe that means we can resolve our Helix. Gross. One card in hand. Oh, two cards in hand. Yeah, I drew one. I do think we're gonna untap and probably just try to kill the Delver. Let's see. We can kill the Delver, and if he's got a spell snare, then he has a spell snare, and that sucks. We're a bit behind. All right, we'll see if he has the Spell Pierce that we thought he did earlier. If we play, I'm thinking about playing. I don't know if we need to play around Remand. He has two cards in hand. If he's got a, I think we just try to go for it now. If we let him untap, then we have to play around more cards. We let him, if he does have a Spell Pierce, we let him get an extra damage in here because he can just Spell Pierce this and make another token, but I think it's better to just attempt this. Yeah, so he did have Spell Pierce. We were right before. I mean, it would have been the same either way, because if we had, let's say he just had the Spell Pierce, if we electrolyzed on that turn, if we had just electrolyzed on that turn, then he was just going to get another trigger off of, he was going to get a Monastery Whisper trigger off of Spell Pierce, so it was kind of the same. We really want to draw a Supreme Verdict, and we did not. We drew a stupid thing. Yeah, well, we're dead this game. There's nothing we can do. Yeah, I think we're fine with this. Batterskull, I mean, I like to gain life, but I just feel like Batterskull is really clunky against them. I don't know, maybe we just want to do this instead and just, yeah, we'll try that. We'll give it a shot. I do think Batterskull is clunky, but we are on the play. Yeah, this seems okay. Black source, red white. So then Flooded Strain needs to get like a Hallowed Fountain. Clearly I guess I'm sure our opponent just messed that up by accident. I was going to say clearly it would be nice to have a 1-mana removal spell, because this is going to be like, I have a feeling this is going to be like, oh, the Probe, and then fetch a blue or shock, and then play a Delver when he realizes that we don't have a turn 1 removal, or, a removal spell for the Delver, but we'll see. Could also just be, it's not Swift Spear, because if it was Swift Spear, he would have played the Swift Spear and then probed. Oh, it's fortunate for us. Get that Hallowed Fountain. Probably want to get our... Actually, yeah, I think we just want to get our red source online there. I don't think we're going to be remitting anything yet. Probably want to save the remit for something later, like a cruise. Actually, don't even really care about the Watery Grave. Do not have Crackling Dooms in, so it doesn't really matter about the black source. Might as well. I mean, there's really no reason to reduce our life total by fetching at this point that I can think of, and I don't think we're just going to electrolyze. No, I mean we might. I mean he knows. We can get a blue source with a Scalding Tarn. I wonder if he kept it. I wonder why he kept this one-lander. That clearly is not working out very well for him. Serum Visions is my guess. Oh, okay, just Thought Scour on his turn. Surprised he still didn't draw a land. But I mean, they only run like 18 lands, so sometimes that just happens to these decks. We're just gonna get a blue source and just play our Angel on this turn, play our Remand, get a thing into play. Kind of feel like we should have looked at how many cards they had in the graveyard. We are fairly ahead, though. I mean, clearly our opponent has all action, so he did cruise, sure, but he's not really going to get ahead by that much. He found a land, and he's just going to go back to 7 cards. Which is essentially where he was anyway. So this cruise, like, improved his hand probably some, and then got a land. What is he doing? Okay. That seems really bad, but whatever. I guess. Do we bolt it? Do we electrolyze it? Opponent did have blood moons. Let's see, 1-1. 2, 3. I'm almost tempted to just attack and bolt him, but I think we're just going to... We're going to bolt the Delver. Oops. The reason we're bolting Delver is that way we can... Our opponent doesn't have any lands in play. We can hold up a remand and a path. In fact, let's see... Remand. Yeah. The fact that our opponent looks like he's going to pass, I'm kind of tempted to just try to run this Snapcaster Mage out there. If he spell snares it, I'm guessing he's representing spell snare here. Do we care? Maybe we don't. We'll just untap and just attack. Vapor Snag. Let's see. We remand that. Yeah, we can remand. I mean, he may have another cruise, but if we remand this, we put him at 4. We go Snapcaster Mage, bolt him, put him at 1. I like that. And then he's dead to like anything. I think we forgot to play land last turn. Not that it matters. Okay, cool. So, on that one, let's take a look at the list here. I mean, that's not really like, that was not a very good representative game. Our opponent was just really screwed on lands. Something doesn't feel great about this list. I don't know. Maybe we don't want the Batterskull main. I'm not sure. We really want to play against Pod. See if these are worth bringing in. Well, we'll play another game. See you guys in a few.